My name is Crystal. I'm creating my first blog ever on Crystal in Korea channel. This blog I'm going to be talking about the TaLK program, Teach and Learn Korean. I'm going to discuss why I chose this program, the application process, and the interview that took place. Okay, so the reason why I chose this program was it seemed like it had a really good pitch to it, meaning that the advertisement and what it was all about had a really good positive influence on me. I originally applied for the JET program, which I pretty much would teach English in Japan for a year, but I didn't get into it. It's a really hard program, and I really didn't have a chance. So I got a backup plan just in case. It was either Epic or TaLK, and I liked TaLK because it was a 6-month, you can choose a 6 months or a year, towards Epic was a year contract. And I decided, yeah, I don't know if I want to do a year. I haven't been to Korea before, and I just to be on the safe side, as much as I know it would be such a great adventure for a year, but there's too many things I know I would miss here. So as I was looking at TaLK, they had the month-long orientation where you learn about what you're supposed to do instead of going right to teaching and stuff. Like, they get you immersed in their culture first, which I thought that was great. So the application process. When I applied just a little bit after I applied for the JET program. The JET program was so vigorous and so articulate with how they wanted their applications done that I felt the TaLK program would be the same exact way. No, not at all. It was so much easier, a lot more laid back. They didn't really have a set time. They had like a deadline, but it was very lenient of a deadline. So after I was done with the application, I made sure I did my essay really well. I got my letters of recommendation, had my lesson plan. Within 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, I got my acceptance for the interview via email, and I scheduled that for next week. Now, given my whole thinking process is, here I am, my whole expectation is to go through the JET program, which was pretty much hardcore, vigorous, looking at forums every day, 5 times a day, making sure, for the interview questions, what are they going to ask you, what do you have to be prepared for, all this mumbo jumbo in your head, which was stressing me out. So I was having everything prepared in my head, and pretty much I made a whole lesson plan of a PowerPoint, exercise, worksheet, even a song, please. Come on. That's how much I was preparing myself for like awkward questions. I had no idea. I don't know if I was going to be in a group interview or a private interview. So when I finally got there, I did the interview in downtown Los Angeles at the Korean Education Center. I live in California, by the way, if you already guessed. The interview took about 15 minutes, maybe 20. It didn't feel like it was very long. It was really short, and it wasn't bad at all. At first, it was a little bit awkward because he was very serious, very quiet, had a heavy accent, so I couldn't really understand what he was saying. But he was asking the typical questions such as, why did you choose this program? What was your favorite thing about this program for your reason of applying? What are you most afraid of? Where have you been? Questions like that. So they weren't hard questions to answer to. You just got to make sure you come up with a good answer. And then he looked at more of my application, and he noticed I studied in Japan for 2 months. And he said he lived in Japan for 2 years. So we talked about Japan for half my interview, saying what we liked and what we didn't like about Japan. So it was like made the interview a lot easier too. It was a couple times it was like awkward silence, and you're just like, but it wasn't bad. He was really nice. He said that one thing he did say was he was really impressed that I had all my documents together and ready to go before the interview. And I was a little shocked by it because I thought you were supposed to, but apparently not everybody who was doing interviews that were scheduled had all their documents ready. So I actually applied end of February. I started all my application process end of February, and I turned in my application, I would say, I'm guessing early March, mid-March. I think mid-March. And by beginning of April is when I did the interview and stuff, and then I found out mid-May that I got in. Woo! So anyways, if you have any more questions, I hope that was helpful for anybody who wanted to know about the process. I hope I was helpful. If not, you're more than welcome to ask any questions. So anyways, I'm going to be writing another blog, or excuse me, talking about another blog of what I'm doing from now until I go to Korea. So check it out and, tell me what you think. All right.